Well, hello YouTube, and we are here again with cat hair on my towel for another edition of What Do I Have in My Personal Seed Bank. So today I thought I'd kind of run through my herbs. I don't have a ton of them, but I got some cool ones. So with that, let's just kind of jump right in. And I like doing this too because it actually gives me a chance to clean out these drawers that I have everything in. So that works for me. So starting out, I've got some M.I. Gardner, cinnamon basil. I'm hoping his stuff grows true to type this time around. I got these when he had that, he was like cleaning out when are these packed for 2023. So he's cleaning out his old inventory, and he was selling everything for like $1, and it's like, okay, for $1 I'll do it. And then if you bought, I think, $12 worth or something, you got free shipping. So I went ahead and did that. So there's cinnamon basil, and I got lemon basil. And then let's see, this is from Bentley Seeds, and this is just some oregano, some garden oregano. And I think I've mentioned before that I am really into getting a whole lot of oregano because I am going to be planting just a literal boatload of it around up here on the top part of our property for my birds. I could actually plant it clear down to the orchard and around out there too. But honestly, it wouldn't do me any good because Bob's not going to venture down there to pick it for the birds. But he will up here around, and I got lots of room up here. So, I mean, if I put out 100 oregano plants, I'm okay with that. The deer don't eat it, and the birds love it. This here is Russian tarragon. Now, I prefer French tarragon, but the funny thing about French tarragon is that you cannot start it from seed. You have to get a root cutting, or you have to propagate it from the roots. It doesn't go to seed. The only one that does is the Russian tarragon, which does not taste as good as French tarragon. But you know what? When I'm looking for seeds, I have to take what I can get. Got some garlic chives from Renee's Gardens. Those are great. Those you grow them for 2 years before you harvest them. And then Baker Creek from 2022, which should do just fine. Got a little bit of slow bolt cilantro in there, which is great. And then this is, the Walmart 20-cent packs of seeds from American Seed, and it's just some regular old cilantro. And you know what? I don't really care because I don't generally leave it in the ground long enough for it to go to seed. So I'm definitely not saving seeds from it. I'm planting that, I'm cutting it, and I'm using it because I make a lot of Mexican dishes and Caribbean dishes. I also use it in Asian cuisine. It's just a delicious herb. And then I got some Genovese basil, a container variety, it says. Out of all these basils and so forth that I had, I didn't have any Genovese basil, so I put it on my wish list, and somebody sent me a whole pack of seeds from American Seed. I guess this would be this is the dollar store. And I'm okay with that because Genovese should be able to save seeds from that. And this is fern leaf dill. There's a few seeds of dill in there. Burpee 21. I'll probably toss it out somewhere and see what it does. I don't hold any big hope for it. And let's see here. This is from Johnny's, and this is Creeping Thyme. And I thought this would be really pretty. I have where our fifth wheel is. This is actually like a driveway of sorts, but we don't use it for that. We actually put our greenhouses up here. Bob does park his car over in between like the sheds and the greenhouse, which is great. That's fine. But we don't really use it as a driveway up here other than that. And so, anyhow, there's like a short little rock retaining wall holding the gravel and stuff up here. And then it's a drop down, probably 3, maybe 4 feet down into the grassy area where my raised beds are. And so I thought, you know what, creeping thyme, and I got some flowers coming from Nikitovka that will look really pretty, just kind of spilling over those rocks and going down. And again, it's something that the deer don't eat. And I've had to learn, like with the tomatoes, my tomato garden and stuff, we have to drape those plants with bird netting or the deer will eat them. I cannot plant peppers out in my raised beds. The deer will eat them. What they don't mess with are squash and cucumbers. They leave them alone. So I'm learning what they will leave alone and what they will eat. We also will buy big 25-pound bags of juicing carrots, and we toss them around here and there. And that keeps the rabbits, because we have a ton of wild rabbits up here, and it keeps the deer and the elk out of my garden. So it's like, it's a small payoff. You know, we pay $15 for 25 pounds of juicing carrots. They like them. I like the fact that they're out of my garden. And then I also am planting stuff out there that's pretty and that they will stay out of. And here is a pack of Greek oregano. And some more garden oregano. Like, you know, just, if it's oregano, I am very interested in planting it. And that's just how it goes. I believe this, oh yeah, I wrote on there, it's Thai basil. And it's really good to have on hand. I use a lot of Thai basil in my cooking. I just don't use tamarind anymore. After tamarind, I bought some tamarind paste to make a new recipe back in June, and it almost killed me. I found out I have a really bad tamarind allergy. I went into almost anaphylactic shock. I couldn't breathe. Had to go to the hospital via ambulance. It was a mess. Anyhow, moving on. Cardinal basil. I bought this, first year we moved up here and planted it out, and it grew in a pot up here on the deck, and it was wonderful. Oops, whoa, losing stuff here. Persian basil, this was another wonderful variety. The first summer we were up here, I think I planted 16 or 17 different varieties of basil, and just was impressed with all of it. And then this is Agastache. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. I hope I am. And I think it's a flower, but I don't really care. I'm going to count that as an herb because I'm going to grow it to use in tea. And it's supposed to be really, really good. This is another flower, but I'm going to count it in my herb garden. And it's actually a Spilanthes, but this is the yellow version of toothache plant. And there's another version where it's like a bullseye kind of, and it's red and white, I believe. And of course, lemongrass. I'll grow that in the greenhouse. I have got dwarf lemon cilantro. Fenugreek. Wonderful for the seeds. And this is also called methi in Indian cuisine. Fenugreek. And the leaves are highly nutritious as well. Another pack of toothache plant. I've got some orange yellow thyme. I've got some started out there that I did 2 years ago. It's growing right along, so I wanted to do some more. And when I saw that they had this in stock, I had to order it, and I have not grown it yet. And I don't know how to say it. Avivinator? I don't know. This was one of my favorite types of basil. I actually have 2 packets of it. It's a very potent flavor of basil, and I just really, really enjoy it. And I wasn't able to get any last year. Well, no, I started some, and then I wound up selling all of them to one of my seed buyers. So I didn't get to grow this last year. I will be growing it this year, or coming year. I got some hyssop for tea. Got some Giant of Italy parsley. That stuff grows really, really well. White borage. Got blue borage. Needed some white borage. I started this as well. Basil or cardinal basil, and it's beautiful when it goes. It's just, and it tastes really good. And here's some more of that some magic carpet thyme, the spreading kind that I'm going to put down there in the rocks. Some Zloty Land chamomile. And why did I get this? I need to refresh my memory. Easily self-sows, Polish variety. Has a wonderful aroma and used to make teas. Well, that's probably why. Okay, so that one self-sows, and I like that. And then I got some of this Greek Mountain Tea Mint. I love, love, love mint tea. And then, of course, I've got some freebie seeds. Oh, okay. So that's from Mary's Heirlooms, and it was a freebie with my order. And it's the blue borage. Florence fennel. Love fennel. Big, huge fan of fennel, which is really odd because I think that black licorice is disgusting and I hate it. And I don't eat it. But I'll try. I love fennel. It's pretty mild. Culantro. This is not to be confused with cilantro. This is different. And this is used a lot in like Mexican cuisine. And I did a trade for that. I have Summer Savory. This is from that little seed shop, artisticgardens.com, where they sell 45-cent sample packs of seeds. Sweet basil. I'm going to guess that that's like a Genovese. This is not one. I'll grow it out for pesto, but I'll also mark it that I'm not going to save seeds from that because I don't know what it is. Good King Henry. And it's an herb. And you know what? For the life of me, I cannot remember what it's used for. I'm going to have to Google and look it up. I honestly don't know. And since I'm videoing on my phone, I can't stop and look it up either. So Google's going to be your best friend as well as mine with this one. Salad Burnet. This tastes like cucumber. I've grown it before. Those seeds aren't too old. I should get some kind of germination out of them. That was a trade. This is bouquet dill, just your basic standard dill. Mammoth Long Island dill, again, just a standard dill. Everybody grows it that wants to use it for making pickles. More garlic chives. I want a huge pot of garlic chives. I've got a lot of garden chives out there, but I don't have any garlic chives. Opal basil. These are all those sample packs from the place is called Le Jardin du Gourmet, the Gourmet Garden, but the website is www.artisticgardens.com. And even for their full-size packs of seeds, they're only $1 something. So these guys are really affordable. And you just kind of have to pick and choose through there as to what you want to get. And like with me, I mean, soapwort. I want to grow soapwort because, you know what? If this causes me not to itch or whatever, I will figure out something to use it for. I also, one of these days, want to get a shampoo lily up here because I have the perfect climate to grow it in. And it says that it grows well in my zone. So, and it never gets really super cold here. And if necessary, I can put it in the greenhouse. Fernleaf dill. This is the dill like you get in the little clamshells at the grocery store. If you want to put it like with lox or whatever, that's the type that you want to grow. And then red Reuben basil. I don't know what that looks like. I did that photo competition and won, and they sent me just like a whole bunch of seeds, and then I got to pick one out of my choosing. And what do? I pick devil's ear lettuce because I thought the name was great. And this one was from Lauren. She owns Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap TLC, and she has a YouTube channel called Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. And this is a basil variety that she sent me because she had heard that I had this, is it Mirhani? But anyways, I had ordered the Mirhani. I think that, I don't know how to say it. I'm guessing. But I had ordered that from Small House Garden or Small it's Bev Cohen's site, Small Farm Garden, smallhousegarden.com, one of those two. And she's like, no way. And I said, oh, yeah, I got that. So she sent me some of her mix, and that's cool, and I will grow that out. It's at a F5 right now. And I got summer savory, and I have winter savory. Savory is what is pretty necessary. I like to get pork loins, and I will grind those up with extra pork fat, and I like to make my own sausage. I have a meat grinder and stuff. I'm really into that kind of stuff. Mullein, that is, I have it growing wild along my driveway, and I guess, like, if shit were to hit the fan, STF, whatever that is, that this would be very handy for me to have, seeing how I have COPD and emphysema. This helps with lung issues. But I'm not smoking it. I'm not smoking anything. I can't even smoke weed anymore, and that's a bummer. But it is what it is. I did it to myself. Santo Cilantro. That's a nice fat pack of seeds right there, to be honest. And now, here we go. I mean, it doesn't look like I have a whole lot of seeds, but I have a whole lot of herb seeds here. What can I talk about here? I gotta put some of these up, otherwise they're gonna just start falling over. They need to go back into the drawer. Herb garden. See, we have a terraced garden, in-ground garden down, and it's like at the end of the greenhouses, and it goes down to the driveway below. And the person that lived here before us, they started like a strawberry garden there, a strawberry patch and so forth. And so I would love to put a lot. I've got some mint in there right now next to the strawberries. And you know what? If they compete with each other, they compete with each other. The deer wind up wiping us out of the strawberries anyhow. And I don't, other than stringing bird net over that whole deal, I don't know how to keep them out. And we did that the first year, and then Bob felt really bad because we had a couple of birds and a chipmunk get caught in there and it killed him. So we don't really want to do that, and the deer just eat all of the strawberries. Put mint in there, and if it takes over, it takes over, and I'm fine with that. I've got nectar coriander. That would be cilantro. Gigantella parsley. So I'm going to say that's a flat leaf that's really big. Got some more mammoth Long Island dill. And I mean, honestly, look at the seeds that they pack in there. It is just crazy to me how inexpensive Nicotovka is and how many seeds they put in there for you. Like this right here is 2 baggies full. That's got to be over 500 seeds. It's just crazy to me. And like basil, look at that. And this is called purple rosy basil, and it's a red variety. You can't have enough basils, I'm sorry, you just can't. There's a big package of fern leaf. And it's called sugary root parsley. And it's a root vegetable, and you don't eat, I don't know if you eat the leaves or not, but you grow it for the root. Indoor dill. I mean, seriously, look at the amount of seeds. Those packs are kind of fat. I have a Nicotovka order almost here. I got notification yesterday that it had arrived down in Portland. It should have been here today, but it's still sitting in Portland. Why, I don't know. So hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. Triples parsley. And this is a curly leaf. I wanted both types. I wanted the flat leaf and I wanted a curly leaf. And that doesn't belong in here. That is for another video. Let's see here. Got Zephyr fennel, and it's a bulbing type. If it's not a bulbing type of fennel, I will not grow it here because it can become invasive, and I refuse to grow anything that's invasive. Somebody said something about water chestnuts. I had looked into possibly, starting a little contained system to where I could grow water chestnuts, but Washington State has them listed as invasive. So I was like, no. And I mean, this was in a garden group, in a seed swap group, and I had people jumping all over me right and left. Well, I would grow it anyway. And it's like, no, I wouldn't. If I'm going to garden, I want to garden ethically, and I'm not going to do that. And I mean, they were like heinous, and they would not stop, and I wound up leaving the group. This was several years back. But that's why a lot of people, I think, they say, wow, I've been accused of being rude, and you know what? That may be so, but I'm blunt and I'm to the point, and it's like I have no problem telling somebody to F off. I'm not planting something invasive in Washington State. I'm not going to contribute. That would be just as stupid as me planting, what is that stuff, that yellow, oh my God, I can't even think of what it is, but it drives me nuts, and it like really kicks up allergies. But what is it? It's going to drive me nuts. But anyways, like, blackberry vines, those things are invasive. I'm not about to plant any. That's just stupid. If I want blackberries, we got them all over. People, they're funny. Feverfew sunball. Those are really pretty. I had a pot of feverfews, but I think they finally keeled over. And then boreal chickweed. This is for my chickens. But this may be invasive. I have to check. I'm not sure. But if it's not on Washington State's list of noxious or whatever, I'll go ahead and plant it, because if it takes over an area out here, I'm fine with that, because we'll just use it for the chickens. So it's okay. Odorous dill. That name cracks me up. It's like, what, does it stink? No, it smells like dill. It smells actually really good. And then chervil, Vertissimo. Chervil is not something that we really use a lot here in the United States, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why. They use it like parsley over in Europe. I have grown it for several years. It's delicious. It's really easy to grow. It's like parsley. You just throw the seeds in some soil and they grow for you. And people need to like really start trying that out. Excuse me, I'm getting a sip of coffee. Portuguese parsley. I've got several varieties of parsley. I've got German chamomile. So now I've got Zlottyland. I've got German. I got more oregano. I could probably I don't know. I'm greedy about oregano after I found out how much my birds like it. And it has like antibacterial properties for my birds. So, I mean, it just means that, you know what, I can use less medication with them. And I'm all about that because I eat their products. I eat their eggs. So if I don't have to give them antibiotics, even better. We got some French Provence summertime. Sweet marjoram. Yet even more borage. That stuff grows huge and it readily reseeds itself. And I have never, ever seen another plant with as many bees on it as I have when I grew borage for a couple of years up in Silver Lake. It was incredible. It reseeded itself at the end of one of my 8-foot-long raised beds that I used to have. And holy moly, it was constantly covered with honeybees. It was incredible. Lemon balm. Toscana Medinetto basil. And it looks like a smaller variety. And what I love is packed in 2023. Viable until 2027. That's awesome. I wish we did something like that here. More garlic chives. I love garlic chives. The reason why I've got so many seeds for them, and I'll probably get even more, is I actually want to do like a 4 foot, 3 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot square area and have a whole bunch in there, because it takes a couple of years for them to get to the size to where you can harvest them. But also I want to make kimchi from them. You can make kimchi from a lot of different things. Like, you can even make white kimchi. You can make radish kimchi, green onion. I've made green onion kimchi, cucumber, not pickle, but cucumber kimchi. It's friggin' delicious. And that's why I got those Korean red peppers, the hongochu. I need those to make gochugaru, which is Korean red pepper flakes, and you need Korean red pepper flakes or gochugaru to make gochujang, which is the hot pepper paste. And I'm really into Asian cuisine. If you have any questions, just ask me. Red ruby basil. I've grown this. That's why I don't have as many seeds left for it. Yeah, and it grows really well. Lettuce leaf basil, one of my favorites. Very mild. You could use these to, like, if you wanted to do like lettuce wraps, use those. They're really good. And I got some blue giant hyssop. So we'll put these into the drawer. Nice and neat. And then I'll get into all of the herb seeds that I've got via trades or what have you. Please don't fall on the floor. Okay. This person didn't have any little seed bags. Winter Savory 2020. I think what I'm going to do with those is just like sow them and see if anything grows. And then I'll put some of the other stuff on. If they don't grow within a reasonable length of time, then I'll re-sow the container with some good stuff. Got some roselle. I don't know if that'll grow here, but I do want to try it. Some more lemongrass, if you can read that. Lemon basil. I think I need to get some lime basil, or I might have it, I don't know. Here's the other spilanthes, and this is the bullseye toothache plant, and you just kind of put that on the top of the soil and it will grow. And I'll put that down. I'm planning to put that down on the terrace garden and just have a couple of little areas of it. Sweet fennel. This will not be planted out in my garden whatsoever. This is invasive, and I will use that. Like if I'm in one of like the free heirloom seed group or something like that, or the Great Seed Swap and Friends, which is another really good seed group I belong to, and somebody comes in there and they're new and they don't live in Washington State and they don't have much, I'll use that and put them together a care package. But I will not grow that here. It is invasive. Lovage. That is a great herb. It tastes like celery. Some more feverfew. This kind of stuff aggravates me. What is there? There's like 7 little seeds in there. Maybe 8. They wanted to trade me for tomatoes. And this is why I have made it a policy that I trade tomatoes for tomatoes only. Unless it's somebody that I really know. Is when I told them I would send them 10 tomato seeds, they send me 8 little seeds of feverfew, and it's like, yeah, well, you just got yourself put on a list. We won't talk about what that list is, but you're on a list. More oregano? Catnip! You know what's funny? I have never had a cat that liked catnip. Not one. Not a one. But I plan on growing that because I do have a bobcat that hangs out in my orchard. And maybe he'll like it, so we'll put some down there and see what he does. And here is that bronze fennel. Again, this will not be grown in my garden because it is invasive. And I know it's a perennial, and it will spread, and it will take over, and I am not interested This is a package of marjoram. Marjoram is a really good herb. It looks a lot like oregano when it's growing, and it's, to me, an integral part of poultry seasoning, but I also use it an awful lot with beef dishes. It has a, not as earthy as sage is, but it has that flavor that holds up well with a long braised beef dish. Like if you cook a roast in a crock pot, you could put in a couple sprigs of fresh marjoram and it would be really good. Got some mammoth dill. I got a lot of mammoth dill. Some more chervil. Rosemary. I'm grateful for that. This is, what is it? This is supposed to be staghorn sumac, although I don't know. I don't know if it is. I have no way of confirming that, so I'm not going to chance it, because if you don't get the correct kind of sumac, you're going to be pushing up daisies. So I'll probably wind up tossing that, because I won't even trade that. I don't know what it is. Thyme. Thyme is just a good all-purpose herb. Common chives. I've got a pot of them. They die back every winter and they come back every spring. And I wait till they blossom and then I make chive vinegar with the blossoms. It's really good. Curled chervil. Chervil is tasty. This is a partial pack of sage. More oregano. Can you tell I'm like the oregano? Like, I got a problem with like oregano. What is this? Oh, that's carrots. What's that doing in here? That's funny. And what is this? This just looks like some mess. Looks like parsley or something, but it's been foil. Yeah, we're going to put that with the staghorn off to the side, and it's just going to take a last run to the garbage. Basil, Siam Queen, so that would be a Thai variety. Raspberry daiquiri, agastache. Yeah. I don't know why you would, I don't know. Okay. I just don't understand why somebody would use a bag that size for that amount of seeds. That just seems like a waste to me. I'd be more apt to use a bag this size. Cilantro. And I don't know what this is. I have no idea. And they look like they're sprouting. Yeah, those are not going back in there. Sage. And I don't know when. That's crazy. What is that? Yeah, I don't even know. More Thai basil. Cinnamon basil. What? Oh, stevia. That could be interesting. Yellow dock. I've got, like, what do they call it? Bloody dock, the red vein sorrel. And there's some yellow dock. Let's see here. Golden ball turnip. That shouldn't be in there. See, it's a good thing I go through these, huh? Lovage. More lovage. That stuff is so good. People don't grow that enough. More bouquet dill. African Newnham basil. This is where I got turned on to that African Newnham basil, was from that pack of seeds right there. Stuff is so good. Lavender. Notoriously hard to start from seed, but hey, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And then this looks like it is open all over. And so I am going to put it in another bag because I don't need the mess. Ah! Of course I dropped the bag on the floor, always. And now, because I need to I'll just set that over to the side for now. But that's got to go into another bag. Caraway. Another one of those things. I don't know if I can grow it. We'll give it a whirl. Korean hyssop. Need to get those planted. Here we go. This is the... Okay, when I was talking about... It's smallhousefarm.com. When I was talking about the basil variety from Lauren from Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head, this is the one. Mirahani basil. And it's just not a common variety. And when she said something about it, I was like, oh yeah, I've got some of that. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, I do. And more roselle. Genovese something basil. No idea. Chervil. Lemon basil. Now this should really be in the greens. Lamb's quarter. Or no, it should not. Excuse me. That is lamb's ear. It should be in the herbs. That, if you don't know about lamb's ear, that's like nature's band-aids. More bouquet dill. Summer savory. Ha ha! Yes, 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 yes. There's the seeds. I ordered these because we do have a few down on the lower part of our driveway. But this is a variety that grows wild up in Alaska. Excuse me, I'm drinking coffee here. And this is up in Alaska, when I was up there, is where I first tasted the jelly that was made with these. Now, they are a flower, and they are delicious. And like I said, I've got some that grow wild down on the lower part of our driveway, and I'm going to see about planting these over by our big cedar tree, because they like to be located like by a body of water or by drainage ditches or whatever, and they don't like to be completely full baking sun all day long. And so underneath the trees I could keep it moist, easily with the hose, and they will grow there. And so yeah, I got a hold of some fireweed. That stuff is so good. If you've never had the jelly and you have the opportunity to try it, do. And syrup too. Oh, just delicious. And then this is a dill. I just don't know what kind it is. A cocoa mesa basil. Anise. I don't know what kind that is. Sweet mace. That'll be interesting. I use that in baking. Italian single parsley. Burdock. Lettuce leaf basil. Some more of that. Even more lettuce leaf basil. Some more Long Island mammoth dill. Lime basil. Nice little bag of that. And even some more roselle. We've got black cumin. I believe those come... I don't know. I shouldn't say this because I really don't know. I'd have to check. But they come from the Nigella flowers. And I believe that, Love in a Mist, those are a Nigella flower. So I don't know. Somebody tell me if you know. More mullein or mullein. And then we got some cat grass, because I got lots of cats and they like to eat grass and then puke. Genovese basil. And there's a card in here. And I gotta figure out. You know what? Maybe it'll just help if I open it up. And oh, it's Eggastache. Eggastache. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, you can make tea out of it, so it's Eggastache. Even more chervil. Oops. Spearmint. My favorite mint. Cumin. Getting here toward the end. More garlic chives. And what are you? Heirloom Florence fennel. Florence, I believe, is bulbed, if I remember correctly. And if so, I will plant those. Italian oregano. And thyme. So that is what is in my seed bank. I wish I knew what these were. That's driving me nuts. Sometimes if I do like that, I can read it. But those look like they're... I have no idea what these are. Anyhow, that ends this session of what is in my personal seed bank. And that is all of the herbs that I have. I actually, wow, 41 minutes. I got quite a few herbs. I thought I didn't think I had that many, but apparently I do. So, anyhow, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, make sure to do that. Make sure to hit the like button. I will be doing some seed giveaways on here that are specific, you know, for tomato seeds most likely, because I'm going to try to get in and do a video, or it's going to be several videos of what I have in my tomato seed bank for you guys. So if that's something that interests you, let me know in the comments. And there will be some seed giveaway contests that are specific to this YouTube channel above and beyond what I do for my Facebook groups. So make sure you don't miss out on those. So like and subscribe and stay tuned.